Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation. We're breaking out with a new creation.
American poet Maya Angelou says, if you're always trying to be normal, you'll never know how amazing you can be. Our Belize Watch team traveled to Elridgeville in the Toledo District, where we met Shimeah Garay, a young woman who takes a lot of pride in not fitting into the traditional role of what a girl can do or be. We will have our conversation with Shimeah after we hear from our partners, the Garai, Shell Belize, the National Gas Company, and Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust.
Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell. Since 2008, the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust has created opportunities for Belizeans to develop themselves and their communities. The Trust employs tools that are intuitive, collaborative, and accessible so that every Belizean is empowered to achieve their full potential. Over 200,000 Belizeans have been impacted because of our various initiatives. The Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, empowering Belizeans of today to create the Belize of tomorrow.
We are the Garai, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Garai. Get more? Be less.
The facilities at NGC have been engineered to the highest standards. No other LPG facility in this country has the technology, health and safety considerations, and accurate industry-accepted measurement technology as does NGC. Under the watchful eye of the control room, Bowsers are loaded with LPG to deliver to the 2 depots inland and to the many bulk storage facilities owned by customers all over the country, where the wholesale price is one single levelized national price. Now that NGC has entered the market, competition exists for the provision of LPG both at the wholesale level for acquisition and importation through a transparent tendering system and downstream by more than 30 retailers throughout the country.
The National Gas Company of Belize, fueling Belize forward.
It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from.
And on Belize Watch today, we are in beautiful Toledo District. I think we are a bit outside of Punta Gorda town. I know where we are because I've been here before. I've been here many times. We're at the Garai's ranch. But along with me is, of course, Shimeah Garay, who we'll be talking to, who is the subject of our discussion this evening. Shimeah, it's good for you to have us here in your home. Thank you so much. And you know this gentleman sitting next to me on my right?
I figure I know the man. I say a wrong tongue sometime.
Yeah. He's, no.
Mr. Paul Mohong.
Okay. So we let Mr. Paul. What are those cows doing, by the way? I'm getting distracted here. I just look around and I saw some cows moving around. That's part of the herd, or?
Yes, that's some of them. They're not the baby ones. I think the bigger ones still there, but.
Oh. So what are they? Were they in another pasture and just coming over to where we are?
Yeah, we have them in the pasture, but just to bring them in the yard now.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about this and more and your involvement with all this cattle and so on a little later on, right? But let's go to the Honorable Paul Mahong, who is here with me. And I'm asking Paul at this point in time to describe exactly where we are at.
Thank you very much, Chief. As you rightly said, we're in Elridgeville. We're just 5 miles out Punta Gorda on the PG San Antonio Road, and that takes you slum on to this beautiful village of Elridgeville. It's predominantly an East Indian community, but there are other ethnic groups residing here. And of course, we have stopped off at the family residence and farm of Charles and Miss Bella Garai, well known in this community and the entire district. But we've very fortunate to meet Shimeah, that's a member of the family, and she'll tell us about this wonderful family as we go by. So, Chief, I'll leave it up to Shimeah to do the rest.
Paul, how long have you known the Garai family?
It has been surely over 10 years, over a decade, Chief, since I came upon them. But within the past decade, the 10 years, we've really made that bond, that friendship. And of course, you were also able to enjoy that friendship as I brought you out to this farm to meet them. And apart from that, I think Shimeah will explain the multiple talents of not only Shimeah, but members of this family and their hospitality.
That's for sure. I've certainly enjoyed your family's hospitality, Shimeah, and I want to thank you so much on our behalf. I want to thank you and your family for the wonderful hospitality you have shown us. Whenever we come here, we feel like we're at home, you know. So thank you so much for that. Now let's look at you first, Shimeah. Let's get to know you. You are Shimeah Garay. You were born here in Elridgeville?
No, I was born in Punta Gorda town at the hospital. Yes.
How long ago?
26 years ago, 10th of August.
Okay. So you're fairly young. But what I've admired about you is how much your father and your mother depend on you and the work that you do. I've seen you killing cattle. I've seen you taking one of those cows over there dung. I've seen you selling meat. I've seen you fishing. I've seen you I remember there was a time when we were out fishing with your dad, and because of us going all over the place, they ran low on fuel, and he gets on the phone and call you, and I see you come all of a sudden with fuel and everything and rescuing us and what have you. So you're quite an admirable young lady. You know, you seem to have grown up very good here in Elridgeville. Now, let us start walk me through your life.
As a young woman, from growing up, Mr. Rene, my parents, Mr. Charles Garai and Mrs. Isabella Garay, they taught me a lot of things. Growing up, from I was a little baby, I used to go fishing with my dad. I used to always run joke and be like, "You're so young, you're 6 months old, and your mom have to hold you while you're sleeping and fishing," and he have me at sea already. And then when I was like at the age of 3 years old, my mom, she ventured into the restaurant business, the cooking business. She had her own restaurant. So she was always busy. She would leave 6 in the morning and go and don't come until evening. So my dad was the one, he didn't really have a 8 to 5 job. He would be doing other stuff, a lot of different things, so he would take care of me. So if he's going fishing, he takes me. He going butchering, he takes me. He has construction work to do, he takes me. So from 3 years old, I was always with my dad doing those stuff and learning a lot from him. And at the age of 8, 9, now that's where the hard part come in now. Well, I'll say it was hard because my dad was like, okay, you like being outside, you like all the boy stuff, little tomboy, that's what they call me. But now you're a female, a young lady, you need to learn how to cook and do.
That was hard for you?
Well, I don't like being inside, so yes, at first, yes, when I had to start to learn how to cook. And so at a very young age, my mom taught me how to cook. So when I would get holidays from school on the weekends, I would go to the restaurant and help her. And meanwhile, growing up, I had two brothers at home, Jeremiah and Asher, and they were always with me, so I was always with them, and they, whatever they know, they would teach me, so we would basically be doing everything together as a family most time when it comes to the business and when it comes to even pleasure. It was always us together.
You learned and you learned construction work. You learned everything that your dad did, right?
Yes, I learned construction work, and when I was in going on to high school, on my third year, I went to Juliancha Technical High School, and I took construction. That was my major. Okay. Yes, so I did 2 years, and then after graduating, well, then I really like doing hard work. I like being outside, so it's not hard work for me. It's like fun when I'm doing those kind of things.
But you went primary school. Which primary school did you attend?
Fariso Methodist, right? In down the hill.
What are the memories you have at primary school, of attending primary school while you were growing up, and what were things like at the time here in Elridgeville?
Oh, well, going to primary school, because of my mom and father always go early in the morning, it was my two brothers that I was the youngest, so they would have to get me ready and take me to school, and sometimes we fight in the morning before we go to school, but we still got it and go to school. Sometimes we'd run away and come home and swim in that little deep hole over there.
I see that little hole there. Swim in that hole.
Yes, I learned to swim right in that hole over there. Yes. So it was a very fun time. Everything was different back then compared to now going to school.
Okay. And then you did high school, you said, you know. After in high school, what did you did construction in high school, so that taught you to build houses, and what did that exactly that teach you?
Well, in the construction field, I teach me the basics, like doing technical drawing, like doing a print, lining a house, laying a blocks, plastering. So the most basic foundation I learned. On top of what I learned in high school, I learned how to do other stuff later on down from my brother and my father.
Now, the farm that you live on, when did you become interested in moving from construction to farm life? Or you I think you do both, right?
Well, it wasn't moving from anything, because I don't depend on one set job. So if there's nothing to do in construction, I always have the farm, I always have the butchering. When I'm not doing butchering, I learn welding from Jeremiah, my brother, learning welding. So I do a little bit of welding with him. So basically it's from one to the next. So I don't have focus on one stuff.
So what is it that you do not do?
That's a hard question, Chief.
You do a bit of everything, right?
Yes, I could do a bit of everything. And when I'm not working hard, I'm cooking and cleaning and washing.
Maybe the obvious question there would be, what's a typical day like for you?
Typical day, well, I'll talk about a market day. I would get up 4 in the morning, which I do get up 4 a.m. every morning.
What days are market days?
Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, okay.
Yeah, but I do get up 4 a.m. every morning, and I would mix myself a cup of coffee and put on some country music and sit right here. Right here. Where I'm sitting, right here, we'll sit, and I'll just enjoy my coffee, listen to my music till about 5:30. Well, then we have to butcher before we go to the market, because we process our meat early in the morning, because we have villagers that come all the way from out villages that go back late in the evening. So they have their meat fresh. We process early in the morning, so it's easy for them. They don't have to worry about if their meat gonna spoil. Then
so you supply meat to other butchers? That's what I'm understanding here, or I got it wrong?
I don't supply meat to other butchers. I supply meat to customers, like villagers that
you sell
come.
direct.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you sell your meat, you already have your customers who will buy your meat and
Yes, it's direct. I go to the market, and that's where we process, and it's direct from us to the consumer. Yes.
So there's no middleman or anything like that.
No.
Right.
And we go to the market, and most of the time, At the market, we're finished by 9:30, 10, because we have a very good business, and I guess the customers like us. So when we reach there, like we reached at the market about 6, quarter past 6, and it's just like 3 hours of jamming. Just like processing meat, cutting up. People would come, they want 5 pounds, 10 pounds, just cut up their meat. And then when I come home, say I come home about 11:30, I'll take a shower and then I go take a nap. I like to take a nap. Yeah, I like to take a nap in the afternoon, at least from 1 till 3. Yes. And then after that, I would get up and I would go and do other little things around the farm if we have other things to do.
When you say little things around the farm, you mean like moving the cattle from one area to the next, and what do you mean by little things around the farm?
Yes, because we actually have a other pasture on the other side, so sometimes we have to move the cattle from here to over there, and then we have on the other side we have sheep and other things. Sheep, and my brother have chickens, so sometimes I go and help him out over there.
So sheep, chicken, cattle, what else you have around here?
Well, that only that we have right now, Chief, because the pigs we get, we buy the pigs and butcher, so we don't have any pigs.
A cow, or typical cow that you slaughter. Walk me through the life of that. I mean, I'm looking at some little calves out there, and then you see some bigger cows and what have you. Walk me through how that little calf transforms, how long it takes before it becomes something that you can make some money off.
Between a year, 4 months to 2 years, like once they're well fed and they have good grass, and between a year and a half they're ready to slaughter. They're ready to go to the slaughterhouse. Yes.
You take care of them from that stage, young stage, right through until they are ready to until they are slaughtered, right?
Yes. From the time they're born, then we have to give their vitamins, their injection, everything. Then because they're free graze, so we don't. Then we give them salt and other stuff, and then when time to slaughter, then when they're ready, we could see them. Then they're ready to slaughter, and well, it's time to go to the market.
And you slaughter yourself, right? You don't get nobody who slaughter for you. You slaughter yourself.
Yes, I slaughter.
When did you learn to slaughter an animal as big as a cow?
I've been seeing my dad and my brother doing it from I'm small, so I just at one age I can't be sure which age, but it's just come natural, Chief.
So if one of these cow, let's say that cow out there, the one with the dark horn, the big black cow out there, if that cow was ready to be slaughtered, what would you do with it? I mean, how would you go about slaughtering a cow that size?
Well, we have 2 ways. If it's a really bad animal, one that has a lot of temper, normally we would shoot it. Because you can't get too close to it because he would want to buck you or something that hurt you.
And you shoot the cow too?
Yes. When my pa give me the gun. Or if we could get them on the rope, we pull them up to that tree. There's a right over there. There's a guava tree where we pull them up to that, and then right at the back they have a main vein, a card. So if take the knife and dismantle that card, then we could turn it over and cut the throat, and then. Yes.
We eat the meat, but we have to go through and see how it comes to us. We go and buy a pound of beef, 2 pounds of beef, 3 pounds of beef, whatever, and this is the beef that we buy, and it has to be slaughtered in order for us to get it, right?
Yes, they have to be slaughtered. I don't think you want to go to the market and they have a live cow and you ask for 2 pounds, Chief. I don't think you're gonna get it. You're not gonna get it.
And I would like to see you slaughtering a cow.
Well, since I know you wanted that, I have videos that I've been taking because you've been asking for this interview over a year, and I've been pushing you off. But meanwhile, I am working. I would ask my sister-in-law or my brother, and we're like, just take a video for me, and then I'll give it to Mr. Rene, and his cameraman Chris is going to make me a nice video.
No, so you're going to slaughter this cow. You talk to the cow before you slaughter him, or you just you tell him, sorry I have to do this to you, but
Well, I don't tell her sorry, Chief. This might sound cool, but when I see the big guy, I said more meat for the market. I think about all the ways I could cook her.
yeah. But you have to. You say you cut the string at the.
They have a card, yeah, and they have a card at the back, right? They have one little spot. You have to hit that direct spot, unless it won't drop. Like when that card gets hit, it dismantle the cow, so you just drop, and then after that you have to cut the throat.
Okay. So you just can't walk up to the cow, wanting to slaughter it, and just move in with your knife and cut the throat of the cow.
No, you're gonna get hurt if you look for get buck or kick or
Something like that.
yeah.
So this little cord that has on top is what you have to cut.
Then after that, then you cut the throat so it bleeds out, and
if you want to cut the cord and you miss, what happen? You miscut.
that's why we have up a rope, Chief. You can't catch me. I got to wrap up from that tree good for rope. So you got to tell you catch a card.
Okay. But you usually catch it on the first try, or you have to keep trying?
Usually on the first, sometimes 2 times. Not every time you hit and correct.
Okay. Now, you beside selling meat and so on, you also do some fishing, right? I know you love to fish. So tell me about the fishing career now.
Well, fishing, that just sports, Chief. I don't use it as a career. When you want to have a little fun, you go to sea, you catch your fish, you come home, you cook it. When fresh catch, you clean up and cook at one time. Nothing nicer than a fresh fried fish.
I agree, Joe. I love fried fish or grilled fish, right? I enjoy eating fish.
And maybe you'll get surprised tonight. You might get both.
You see, that's why it's good to come and. You see why folks I like to come and hang out at the Garai because they usually have fish or something. They know I like fish, so they have fish. Thank you so much for that.
Yes, Chief. And you'll get both. You get one grill, and when I done this interview, I go and fry your fish for your fresh hot fish.
Oh my goodness! So we'll definitely look towards enjoying that for sure, right? But so your fishing for you is just hobby, just the fun side of things, right? No, you majored in construction in school. I know you do construction because I know you helped your parents to build this house here. Talk to me about that construction side of
Actually, the house over there too, upstairs there, so I help with that too. I help build that one. Yeah, so.
What all do you do when you say help build? How involved are you in the process?
How involved, Chief? Well, the plastering I did, all the sheetrock work inside I did, laying the blocks. I actually was on top of the roof, working all the way on top of the roof. I helped zinc it and all of that, Chief.
You climbed up on top of that roof and helped to zinc that roof. Were you fearful of falling off or something like that?
No, Chief. I never afraid if I may drop.
Tie your thing wrong or just go like that?
No, I never tie nothing. I just made it walk on top of the rafters, them like that. I'm never afraid for drop. And I say if I do drop, I'm not going too far. Only to ground. I don't think I may pass the ground.
I wouldn't even want to drop and touch the ground. I wouldn't want to drop at all.
Well, maybe somebody may catch you at bottom, Chief, so don't worry.
Okay, well, I hope that you're there, but I will catch you. Yeah, so you did the work over there, and you have done other construction work as well.
Yes, I have done other construction work or help on this house. When we have the time, I'll help my dad on the house. And we have other project. We get other jobs that we go and do for people and so.
All wrong now. What else you do, Shimeah, as a young lady?
Um, at the moment, I am doing some welding right now. My brother Jeremiah have been teaching me how to do welding, so venturing into that. I used to always only did all his paperworks for him. I would help him cut and make his design for his gate. I would help do that, but now I'm learning how to weld.
When we come back, Shimeah speaks on her family and the role they continue to play in her life, ensuring that she reaches her full potential. She also offers advice to other young women, but first we hear from our partners.
The B&E Charitable Trust, working in the development of Belize by inspiring young Belizean entrepreneurs to dream and to dream big. The National Gas Company, fueling Belize forward. The National Gas Company makes sure that you not only have a guaranteed supply of gas for every household need, but also that it is of the highest quality always. Shell Belize has been fueling Belize for many, many years, and they have done so reliably and with a lot of dependability. And the Barry stores in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, Orange Walk, and San Pedro, offering you much more for much less. Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell. Since 2008, the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust has created opportunities for Belizeans to develop themselves and their communities. The trust employs tools that are intuitive, collaborative, and accessible so that every Belizean is empowered to achieve their full potential. Over 200,000 Belizeans have been impacted because of our various initiatives. The Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, empowering Belizeans of today to create the Belize of tomorrow.
We are Garai, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange Walk, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. Garai. Get more? Pay less.
The facilities at NGC have been engineered to the highest standards. No other LPG facility in this country has the technology, health and safety considerations, and accurate industry-accepted measurement technology as does NGC. Under the watchful eye of the control room, Bowsers are loaded with LPG to deliver to the 2 depots inland and to the many bulk storage facilities owned by customers all over the country, where the wholesale price is one single levelized national price. Now that NGC has entered the market, competition exists for the provision of LPG both at the wholesale level for acquisition and importation through a transparent tendering system and downstream by more than 30 retailers throughout the country.
The National Gas Company of Belize, fueling Belize forward.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from.
What would you say to other young ladies your age and how to conduct themselves, how to be and how to live their lives?
Well, to be honest, Mr. Rene, over all the years, I learned how to humble myself. And when I have an opportunity to learn something, I try and learn it. Because in this life right now, in this society, you cannot be dependent on one kind of job. You can't be dependent on anybody. Because if you want to be successful, you have to believe in yourself, believe you can do it, and you have to get up and do it. You can't sit down and say I can't do this, I can't do that. That not because you're a female, you can't do hard work. You can't go out there and do construction. You can't do welding. Not because you're a female. Don't define yourself as a female and expect that you should just stay at home, cook, wash, clean, and make babies. That you don't have to define yourself as that. You could get out there, venture into something, learn. As a young person, you need to have goals. You need to just how I put this, like, you have to look farther than your 2 point. You can't just look and say, okay, this. You can't just look at today and say, okay, what I do today, that's it. No, you have to look down the road. You have to look around the curve. You have to come to every other. You have to be there to when you reach that bump. Maybe you work in an office, but one day you lose your job. You can't just sit down and wait for another office job, or you mope around and expect something to come to you. You have to get up and do something. It's not like you're. And then one thing I've learned, you're never too old to learn something new. So if you have the opportunity to go out there and do something and make a difference, do it.
Do it.
Yes.
When did you realize all of this? What made you brought you to all this conclusion that that's the way to live life?
I've always, even from when I'm growing up, Chief, I've always have older folks as friend instead of having most people my age as friends. So I've learned a lot. I listen to their stories. I've seen it. Even when I'm 16, 17, yes, I'm young. Sometimes you want to go out. You want to have a little fun. But then you have to know your limits. You have to know when to stop. You have to know how to put priority first. And then after that, everything falls in place.
Now, we are barely out of a COVID pandemic, right? I wouldn't even say out, but COVID affected us, and tremendous. And there was this massive shutdown, as you know, a few years ago, a year or two ago. How did the COVID situation affect you and your family?
Well, Mr. Renner, with our line of work, and because we don't depend on one job, the COVID didn't really affect us a lot because we still continue our butchering. We still go out and work, do a little welding every so often when you get a job. So beside with the mask and, can't go out as much as you want, we still manage. It didn't affect us very much. So we still did everything same way how we were doing it.
You almost you do a little planting beside the cattle and what you have talked about, like a planting tomato and sweet pepper and different things like that.
Actually, I have some tomatoes, some pepper. Right in front of the flowers, I have some pepper tree, Chief, and at the back we have some tomato tree and some cocoa we plant, and we had a callaloo, and so.
So you had things, you add stuff to it?
Yes. So even though the pandemic was on, we did our own little garden around here, and then, we have the meat, and so it never really affected us that much.
I'm going back to cows again, because you know why? Because cows are passing up and down in front of where we are right now. Now, if I look at this one here in the front, and maybe Chris could help me here, this one in the front, how old is that cow?
She has about 2.5 years old.
So that's ready to be slaughtered?
Yes, but the females that we have on the farm, we don't slaughter them. We keep them for breeding.
Okay. So has she started that yet, or?
Yes. She already have.
A cow?
Yes.
Okay. And then, there's that little one there, the little white one down there, and the gray one. They look the same age. What age were they?
They have about 6 months. They just born in this last year. Yeah, last year they born.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So a cow will have one. What kind of heifer?
One calf for the year. One calf for the year.
So a cow will have one calf per year.
Yes, one calf per year. Yeah.
So that would be 6 months, you say.
His mother is already what the big guy already run with his mother, so by next year she's gonna have a next one.
And this big one here, this one is huge, bigger than the rest.
Yes.
That's a milk cow, does it look like?
No, they're not. They're Brahma. All of our animals are Brahma.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I see some bigger than others.
They're not the older ones. Yeah. Well, and you not see the bigger one yet. You have to see the big bull.
We definitely going to look for the big bull. All right? That's why I want to see the big bull.
Celebration not about
Now, Shimaya, let's look at your family, right? Your mom and your dad, we spoke about them before, but tell us a bit about your mom and your dad, and then we go into your brothers and your sisters.
Well, my mom and my dad, they're very hardworking people too. They work hard. They raise 7 children, 4 boys and 3 girls. I have a sister in Corozal. She works with an NGO. Her NGO is all about planting and helping people. So she's in the field of farming too. And then I have my other sister. She took over the restaurant from my mom. So she owned the family restaurant in town.
Okay. Yes. So they're not on the farm, or you're the only one on the farm and doing all this all around stuff, right? And along with your dad.
Yes, I am the only female. I also have my brother Jeremiah. It's 3 of us. Me, Jeremiah, and my dad. That are here on the farm, but we do the works together.
There's always this misconception that you don't always see a female being as active as you are and doing the things that you are doing. Like you call yourself tomboy earlier on, right? What would you say to other females like yourself who might look at you and say, I want to be like she. I'd like to take on some of these challenges. What would you say?
I would say go for it, Chief, because there's nothing hard in working hard. Yes, I do have people that would look at me and think, oh, sometimes they want to say you want to be controlled, you want to be dominated, you want to be like a man. But it's not like that. Not just because I grew up learning how to work hard, learning how to be independent, and wanting to do things on my own, and wanting to venture in a manly work, what they would call it.
Yeah, we call it manly work indeed.
Nothing is wrong with that. If you can do it, I don't see anything wrong with it. Because I'll be honest with you, I do construction, I work with other guys, and sometimes most of them I do better work than them. So I don't see what is the problem for looking at someone. You don't define someone because of the kind of work they do. Not because you do manly work, that means you're very manly, or you want to be boss, you want to be in control. It doesn't work like that, Chief. Because yes, I do very hard work, but behind all that hard work, I am actually a very loving, adorable young lady. And
For sure.
so they do think otherwise sometimes, but
And I'm talking about that loving, adorable young lady. Any loving, adorable young man ever come here?
Chief, when the guys see the kind of work I do, they must get intimidated. They run. So, no young man, Chief. I don't know why.
Free single and disengaged?
Yes, Chief.
I guess after the show, a lot of people are going to knock on your door. So we're talking about your way of life, right? You are an independent woman, right? So what is the most rewarding thing you think in being an independent woman?
Well, to be honest, with all the hard work I do, and I learn how to make my own money, I learn how to save my own money, and I learn how to manage between having fun and manage work. So I would save up, and at the end of a month or 2 months, I would take myself a 1 week vacation and just enjoy. And with all the hard work, I'll be honest, I really like it, and it make I feel that if I could do it, I think that me being independent, I don't need to depend on a man. I don't need to depend on anyone. That I could always get up and learn. I could get up and I could make a dollar. I could always manage myself through life. I don't need to always be stuck and sitting down and like, oh, what would I eat today? Oh, what? How would I make a dollar today? I don't need to do that cheap because I know how to get up and do it. I find that, and then with pamper myself on a 1 week vacation after all the hard work.
I noticed you said making money, which is important. So you are not only good at what you do, these various tasks that you do, but you also have an idea of how to handle life. You know that it's about making money, yes, and making a living. But I also hear you mentioning saving and saving for a purpose and what have you. Speak to us about how you see that aspect of life, the importance of not only making the money, but also of saving some of it and rewarding yourself for the hard work you do.
Well, on the saving part, I'll say let's break down $100. Say I make $100. On the saving part, I always want to treat myself after a hard work or I want a vacation. So I'll put a 25 aside for that. I'll buy stuff that I need for myself. I'll buy some stuff in the house. I help my parents with stuff in the house. And also I need to invest back over too, because you can't just make it and spend it and do not invest. So I would save up, and then at the end of maybe sometime I would save up, and then I could, after a couple months, I could buy myself a cattle and put in the pasture, or I could buy a sheep, or I could buy a goat. So it's not only about making it, spending it. You have to see, and then you just don't save it for only one reason. You have to save to invest back too.
Yeah. And that's important, because a lot of us do businesses, right, and have something going that we live off, but we don't understand that unless we feed it, just like how we feed ourselves, it cannot grow. It grows based on how we feed it, just like how you grow based on how you feed yourself, right? So the business is the same thing. And it's good to see that you have a grasp on that already, that you know that you're not only, you don't only make the money, but you spend it wisely. But that you also reward yourself, because you need to reward yourself because you have worked very, 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 very hard. And you keep that independent spirit alive,
Yes, Chief, and I'll try to keep it alive as long as I can.
Yeah. An independent young Belizean woman, right, in the Toledo District, in the village of Elridgeville. Her name is Shimeah Garay, right? And you have to admire, from I met Shimaya, I realized that she is a hard-working and an example to other young women her age. You're only 26, you say, and the amount of things you have under your belt, I have to congratulate you.
Our team learns firsthand why it is important to be alert when dealing with animals. We take a break to hear from our partners, Shell Belize, the Barry, the National Gas Company, and Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust.
Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell. Since 2008, the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust has created opportunities for Belizeans to develop themselves and their communities. The Trust employs tools that are intuitive, collaborative, and accessible so that every Belizean is empowered to achieve their full potential. Over 200,000 Belizeans have been impacted because of our various initiatives. The Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, empowering Belizeans of today to create the Belize of tomorrow.
We are Garai, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, Sa Ignacio Cayo, Orange Rock, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. Garai. Get more? Be less.
The facilities at NGC have been engineered to the highest standards. No other LPG facility in this country has the technology, health and safety considerations, and accurate industry-accepted measurement technology as does NGC. Under the watchful eye of the control room, Bowsers are loaded with LPG to deliver to the 2 depots inland and to the many bulk storage facilities owned by customers all over the country, where the wholesale price is one single levelized national price. Now that NGC has entered the market, competition exists for the provision of LPG both at the wholesale level for acquisition and importation through a transparent tendering system and downstream by more than 30 retailers throughout the country.
The National Gas Company of Belize, fueling Belize forward.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from.
The guy can't with us. The cow has his scarf with us, so he charge.
I know that one go out.
So if the charger part, I go now. I think we should just watch you, you know. Come, Shimaya, explain to me what is happening now. You see your dad is going, and my good friend ESP Hamilton has joined him. Right? So what's happening at the Cowling Gun?
You give them salt. They see strangers, so they run. Blackish and...
That's your dad, right? So let's make sure that your dad is
Yes.
beckoning to the cow to come and eat salt.
Yes.
All right. So and that's a little calf, not the calf.
Yes, that the
belongs to
baby.
us very cold.
That's her little calf.
Okay. Where do they eat salt, Shimaya?
They
Like that?
They like the salt.
like the salt?
Yes,
It's
they
just
really like salt. Yes.
I guess they must be shy because we are here, not true?
Yes, they see strangers. They're not
Yeah.
used to see lot of people, and that's why they run.
How many acres of land it take for one head of cattle? Or how much land you need?
1 acre you could have about eight cattle in 1 acre.
Because the land here is fertile, so the grass grows very well, right?
Yes.
So you get a better yield here, you know. Yeah, that is explaining that the cow will only buck you protecting its young one. Other than that, they would not.
No, they
harm
won't
you,
rush you, but because of the young one, yeah,
right?
try.
There are several young ones in this herd here that we are seeing.
Yes, there's a lot.
Right. So, you get a name? You get anyone a name or something like that?
No name none of them, Mr. Rene, because when time we go to the market.
You don't want to apologize to them, right? I hear Dad say you love all of them, but you know, the technology we have to, no, when time comes.
Love them enough only to watch them and enjoy.
Yeah.
When I drink my coffee and watch them, I enjoy them, but When they market there, they have to go. When they are ready for market, they have to go, Chief.
That thing you told me that you cut at the top. Where exactly on a cow would that be? You think we could find where exactly that spot be? Just point me to that spot. The spot that she cuts when she say you cut a spot here, then the cow gets weak and the cow go down. Well,
Celebration not about
this one Rochester. Which one was on the Rochester there? This one. Defending it's young, so we don't want to, because that seems to be the most defensive mother out of all. All right. So this was nice. Nice experience. So yeah, what your dad going to do? Because your dad refuses to come and camera with us and microphone. So he's doing the accent. What is he doing?
He need tell the cow them to come out of the yard now, Mr. René. They going. They understand English. They going. You say all of them go through the gate.
celebration not about
So Shimeah, thank you for this experience, you know, and I admire a lot what you do. Anything you want to tell me that I did not ask you?
I think you pretty much cover everything, Mr. René, so I don't think I left out anything.
All right, I have salt on my hands still. Yes.
Me too.
I never know. First time in my life I gone so close to a cow to give her salt. I feel a coarse tongue from me, the palm of my hand.
Yes, and one rush you too, so you don't forget when you come down the farm.
Yes, I remember when we went over there when we were rushed and we had to go into a little corner. Cameraman got frightened, you know. Chris got frightened.
The man never did get shot from camera. Oh, that may have been a shot of the evening.
Shot of the evening. Right, he was frightened.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure, Mr. René, to have you. And your evening not done yet, so.
What do you have for me this evening?
Well, I think I may prepare some
fish.
I think I may prepare some fish for you and some flour tortilla and some barbecue. So.
Okay.
And I know Mr. Paul have a famous story about it.
Okay. All right. Well, Paul, it was a good experience. Come here, Paul. Come. Okay, we have to find out how you're doing too, and what have you. So you could hold microphone, sir.
Chief, this was a wonderful experience. It's always a pleasure to come out to Elridgeville and spend some time with Charles and Miss Bella Garai, Shimaya, and the entire family. Their hospitality is compared to nowhere else, Chief. And I guess that they are also kind to anybody who comes to the farm. I think they are people who are welcoming, they are understanding, more than loving and caring. I'm very grateful to be part of it, Chief, and I'm glad that you could have made it out here today.
The pleasure is all mine. Thanks again, Shimaya, and thanks to your parents for having us here, and thanks to everyone who made this possible, right? And so, this is all about love. You love what you do, right? And if you love what you do, you say, Belize and beyond. Thanks for choosing love. Love what you do and do what you love. Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
jump and shout all over the nation. We're breaking out with a new creation.